Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is the IDP Hour with my co-host, Jordan Rains, 50 Shades of Drunk on Twitter. Good evening. We are about an hour or so from the game. How you doing, bro?
Good, man. Thursday night. It's fantasy playoff time. Offensive side, I do have Lamar Jackson playing tonight in my most important dynasty league, so pray for him, man.
I had somebody bugging me, like, should I play Lamar Jackson or Drew Brees? And before last week, I would have said Lamar Jackson every time.
Every time.
But the Jets' offense or defense, their line has been really pretty solid all year.
It's going to be a good game tonight. I don't think the Jets have a chance personally, but
I mean, I know the Jets don't have a chance. But here's the thing: they've already locked up the playoff spot. Do you risk hurting your stud quarterback,
Lamar? He's gonna keep playing. They're gonna play him. He's in rhythm right now
until the half.
Well, if he puts up 40 or 50 on him, then yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I guess we should talk some IDP for this game. Apparently, Jamal Adams, doubtful. That was the last I had heard. I guess we'll probably get something pop up during the live of this show, whether he's in or out for sure. There's not a whole lot of guys on the Jets side of the ball this season that you've been able to count on. I mean, their linebackers have been kind of a revolving door because of injuries. It seems like early on it was Neville Hewitt. And then it was Cashman. And then it was, I don't know. I feel like I missed somebody. Now it's Burgess.
And Burgess is balling, dude. He legit beat me last week. Just the facts. Burgess by himself beat me last week. And it sucks.
He did.
I gave Ryan a couple weeks ago when we were in Vegas, I told Ryan he should start him. And he's playing, he's like, should I play him this week? I'm like, yeah, you're playing against me. Which I know he's got to be playing him this week because he scored 290 something.
Oh yeah, if you played him last week, you're probably so comfortable with him. There's no way you're not playing him this week. I don't have him anywhere. Thankfully, I'm not. That's not where I'm at.
I don't think he's going to get to Lamar though.
See, and that's the thing. You have to wonder how much exactly is he going to get tackle wise.
But here's the thing: if they pull Lamar in the half, they're going to get to RG3.
True.
So,
guess
give me all that.
Yeah, there's not really anybody. Let's talk Ravens side of the ball on IDP. What do you think about Judon? He's been coming on.
I love Judon, bro.
Yeah,
give me 2 sacks tonight, bro.
He could do it pretty easy.
I'm telling you. I mean, Sam Darnold's trash.
Well, that's a known fact at this point.
Yeah, I mean.
Judon's playing really good. I retweeted today's that the Pro Bowl double retweet thing. So I've just been all the guys that I've been following all season and who for IDP purposes, there's a lot of guys that have had good seasons. So I've been retweeting all their stuff. Zadarius Smith, Judon, all the Steelers. I'm a Steelers fan, repping right there. So
here's the thing about the Ravens. I think the Ravens are extremely weak on the linebacker position.
They are.
There's a video posted from Joe Mixon where he leaves Onwasser on his, just total. It's him and the sideline, and he puts Onwasser like, oh, bro, I just got burnt on TV. And that has been retweeted 25,000 times. And it's the very last thing you see in the video is Onwasser go. It's bad, dude. So
all right.
I think they go after a linebacker in the draft.
That's what I was just about to ask, because right before we came on, we were talking about, going to the Senior Bowl, and I was saying, there's going to be some linebackers at the Senior Bowl, I know for sure, but, it seems like the Ravens are going to have to go get a good linebacker. Like you said, that's their one weakness on the team right now is they don't have that solid middle linebacker,
I don't know. So they love Oklahoma players. They have to get 5 on the team. So they have Jefferson, who, is hurt right now, which sucks.
Yeah.
They have 2 linemen, one being Orlando Brown. Marquise Brown is their wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
So Mark Andrews is their tight end. So they have 5 Oklahoma players. Well, Oklahoma might have the best linebacker in this year's draft. I like to say he's a lot like Devin Smith. So
White.
Devin White, sorry. I think he's solid. But I think he hits harder.
You think they're gonna be so deep in that first round, though? You know what I mean?
So there's 5 linebackers, but I think I honestly, as much tape as I've been watching, he's such a savage, dude.
You think he'll be the first one taken?
No, I think somebody else. Yeah, because he actually was snubbed out of the Butkus Award.
So he might fall to the Ravens then towards the end.
Yeah, I believe that, and
whoever the Ravens starting middle linebacker is next year, they'll probably be good and they'll probably be young. So if you're watching this with a dynasty mindset, definitely something to monitor.
I'll put it this way. I mean, even being an Oklahoma fan that I am, that kid's a stud, and he's a guy that I'm drafting next year for sure.
Nice.
Brandon, I know you're watching. You're not drafting him. Leave him alone.
There's not really much else to talk about in this game, IDP-wise, off the top of my head. Can't really trust Patrick Onwuasor at this point.
So here's the thing. If somebody asked me about Robbie Anderson playing either Peters or Humphrey, dude, I'm about Peters right now. Thomas has played really good lately. He had a sack last week. You're like me. The Ravens are going to stomp a mud hole in these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be their defense that does it. And the thing is, they're strong everywhere but linebacker. Clark is solid. Or he's not great, but he's solid. He wouldn't be playing it down if Jefferson was there, though.
Yeah.
And then between Peters and Humphrey,
they're playable.
2 interceptions, bro.
Yeah, I was going to say, there's going to be some – Sam Darnold's going to throw at least 2 picks tonight.
If I could stream that defense as just a defense, I would stream him tonight for sure.
Nice. Yeah, I forgot to mention Chuck Clark. So, I mean, he's a safety. You can probably play him. And he has just as much turnover upside, so.
Agreed. I mean, but like you said, Judon must start. I like Thomas overall. I think Peters is going to be a pretty good play. I'd love to know who's guarding Anderson because Anderson's averaging, 10 targets a game. So
Robbie Anderson, yeah, he's been coming on pretty decent here towards the end. Yeah, towards the end of the season here, he's come on. Early on, he was so terrible.
He beat me last year. Dead honest.
Yeah,
he beat me in the finals last year. So, but I don't like his matchup tonight unless he burns Peters, because Darnold cannot throw that deep out route. Every time he does, it's a pick 6. Every time he does it. So.
All right,
let's move to the next game.
Sunday. Which one are we going to go for first?
So I'm going to have to go – well, first game that I have on the schedule. Wow, I'm streaming so far. I'm all the way to week 16. What is I doing? Bears-Packers.
All right. Bears-Packers.
Rivalry game.
Yep.
Adrian Amos has moved from one team to another, which is awesome. Adrian Amos got to be my start, right?
Adrian Amos, yeah. I mean, you can start him. There are guys that I would start ahead of him, but, I mean, he's playable for sure. I'm really excited mostly for Blake Martinez. He's been crushing it this season for IDP. Dude plays every down, every snap. Misses some tackles, but he gets a lot of tackles. And his floor is like 10 tackles basically at this point in the season. So you have to be excited about him playing tonight and playing Mitchell Trubisky, who's been doing a little bit better, moving the ball a little bit more. But, he does have a little bit of sack upside. He has 1 or 2 sacks on the season, Martinez does, and I think the first one might have been against Trubisky. So.
I mean, here's my question: Who do you go for straight up with those guys? You got to think that the Bears don't have the upper hand here. Mitch Trubisky's not going to do what he did last Thursday. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't think. Aren't King and Alexander back? They were hurt, and they still won the game last week. So if they're healthy, then Trubisky's in trouble again. So
yeah, it actually was earlier. The very first game of the season, Blake Martinez sacked Mitchell Trubisky. So, I mean, he's got the upside to – I mean, he's got the floor.
That was a pretty good game, the first game of the season, though.
Yeah, and first game of the season is always a little bit rough. So, but Blake Martinez, I mean, on the season, he's having an incredible year. He's got 79 tackles, solo tackles, not even just full on. He's got another 50 assists right now. So – dude's balling.
He's stud, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Total stud. Like I said, Bears, Packers. Bears,
Roquan Smith with the torn pec. I guess that means Kuechly's not coming off the field the rest of the season. So
yeah, Kuechly's a must start, I would say, at this point.
If you picked him up a few weeks back, we've been talking about him. He's been coming up for about a month now, a month and a half. And we said pick him up and you can play him, and because of Trevathan. And now Roquan's down, Trevathan's still down. Like you said, Kuechly's not coming off the field. So if you did pick him up, you got a solid starter every week, probably the rest of the season there.
Nick Kuechly.
Mike Kuechly. And then Khalil Mack, you have to play him. Back in
he's been balling all year, dude.
Yeah, I think he'll have a couple of sacks on Rodgers. Isn't Akeem Hicks back as well? I believe.
Is he? That'd be huge.
If he is, I'm tentative to play him, but having him back just bolsters the whole line. So that's
it really does. It makes Max stronger.
Yep. I'm not really a big, Eddie Jackson. He's had, I think, 4 double-digit tackle games his whole career.
But when you needed him, he blew it. No,
that was Kareem Jackson. No, Eddie Jackson. Yeah, Eddie Jackson. I saw him get picked up today in a dynasty league, and I was like, "Oh, Eddie Jackson's on the waiver wire." Didn't notice, didn't care. I was like, "Meh, whatever." So,
okay, yeah. So some big ones there. Let's go to the next game. Blowout. Patriots Bengals.
Yeah. Well, this one's pretty cut and dry for me. On the Bengals side, I mean, you have to 100%. You're starting Jesse Bates, Sean Williams. I mean, they're incredible. They're in a great matchup against the Patriots, who throw a lot and keep drives alive. So you're gonna have a lot of tackle opportunities. Nick Vigil, he is in play certainly.
Oh,
Dunlap and Hubbard are both in play as well.
If Hubbard plays.
Yeah, true. Hubbard was out last week. I don't expect big things because Tom Brady's pretty good at avoiding the sack. He's one of those guys where kind of like Sean Watson, where he'll be getting sacks and throw the ball away.
It's at Cincinnati, so I mean I will give them some props on that one.
True, but it's still the Bengals.
They played good against Cleveland last week. They did.
True, you're right. I mean, you're right.
They should have had 2 interceptions.
Andy Dalton is definitely better than Finley, but
yeah.
Patriots side though, there's not much I'm interested in. What are your thoughts?
Well, Andy throws it a ton, dude. So
yeah, he does.
In that aspect, I love Devin McCourty.
Yeah.
I legit might stream Devin McCourty because I expect him to throw 30 times a game. So 30 to 40 times. Now,
have a few tackles and some
after Mixon's 140 or something 140 yards worth of carries last week, you kind of expect him to stack the box and try to make him beat you, right?
Yeah. It's going to be tough for Andy Dalton.
I like McCourty a lot. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he could end up throwing a couple of picks. I'm benching Tyler Boyd for basically the first time this season.
Yeah, because Stephon Gilmore's going to be guarding him.
Yeah, he's gonna have a rough time.
I ain't playing anybody Stephon Gilmore's guarding. Just a facts.
Jamie Collins, how are you? He's kind of cooled off of as of.
Dude, he went down to 26% snaps the other week, last week or 2 weeks ago, and
that's the thing.
Hightower blew up.
Mm-hmm. It's just I don't know for sure what's going to happen. You know what I mean? And that bothers me.
Yeah, I'm staying away from. Personally, I'm staying away from him.
Fair enough.
I'm not touching Jamie Collins this week. I don't know about you guys, but it's not a thing for me. Let's get to the next game. Ooh, I like this one. This is going to be a fun one. Seahawks-Panthers.
Seahawks-Panthers. There's a lot of good IDP options in this game. A lot of elite.
Eric Reed, I think, is a must start.
Oh, yeah.
I actually picked him up in the league just because of that.
He is an elite option at defensive back. He has been all season.
Yeah, he's been a stud.
Like 4 sacks too, like low key. So
yeah, I like him. I mean, Russell Wilson's a stud. Don't get me wrong. Jadeveon Clowney's come on a lot better than he was. They got embarrassed by the Rams though.
That was a really weird.
But the Rams like 3 weeks in a row. Where did this defense all of a sudden show up? They just let's start balling.
I don't know if it's that or was it the lack of offense from The Seahawks. They were not throwing the Lockett. It was just
they shut Arizona down 2 weeks ago. Arizona's been passed on everybody. But the thing is, they were all over the Seahawks.
Well, I mean, you got Kuechly.
I love the Seahawks in this matchup overall, though. I mean,
I think the Seahawks are going to win. It's in Seattle too, right?
No. It's at Carolina.
No, yeah, you're right. It's at Carolina. Oh, I still think Seahawks are going to win this one.
I do too.
Bobby Wagner is.
You got to stop one player.
Exactly.
CMC.
And DJ Moore, but DJ Moore is he's good. I don't want to be misquoted out here.
I'm getting yelled at because I said that the Seahawks got embarrassed last week. Listen, it was at Seattle, right?
I don't know. Is it the Coliseum?
It was the Coliseum?
Yep.
So here's the thing. The game wasn't even close until the fourth quarter.
That's it. And it was garbage time.
That's why I say they were embarrassed. Right? And I'm getting yelled at. I've got people texting me and people messaging me right now like, hey, why? This is why. The Seahawks were favored to win this game by like 8 points. They barely scored over 10.
Yeah.
Okay.
Russell Wilson cost a lot of people fantasy football playoff matchups.
I mean, Maggie is upset at me right now, and that's fine. You can be mad at me. But the fact of the matter is they let us all down last week because I bet on Seattle to cover. So, yes, I'm still mad at you. Seattle. Now, they should cover this week. I mean, the Panthers. They fired their coach. They showed that they're not a good team without their coach. CMC had, 130-something yards total offense with no score again for like the second or third week.
I squeaked by him in a league. It felt good, but now I got to face a super team. That's neither here nor there, though. What are your thoughts on Seattle's defensive guys? I mean, we talked about Clowney. He's in play, but he's not a guy that I'm necessarily must start, in my opinion.
I mean,
even though it is.
You got to start Bobby Wagner.
You got to start Bobby Wagner.
KJ Wright?
He missed some time last week. I don't remember if he was hurt or what happened, but I know their rookie, Cody Barton, I think is his name. He played. Yeah, he's going to be good. He played most of last week, so I don't know what's up with KJ Wright. I was going to say, though, Quandre Diggs, he had those 2 pick sixes.
Did he have 2?
He had 1 pick six and he had another pick. But he had a big game for IDP, and I actually
played 100% of snaps again. It's weird. I mean, as good as my boy was playing, and their first pick in the draft was playing.
Blair.
As soon as Quandre Diggs came there, Marquise Blair, they just like, nah, bro. I'm telling you, I think he's in the doghouse. I think he got in the doghouse.
It's probably just a rookie thing, man.
He had 12 tackles the week before they benched him.
Yeah, well, they traded for Diggs though, so I mean they needed to play him.
Dude's a stud. I don't care. He's a stud. You're putting him on the sideline.
He's a dynasty stash for sure, at best. Right.
Okay. The other side, Carolina, Kuechly, Reed.
Reed.
Irvin's came along a little bit.
Shaq Thompson.
Shaq Thompson, though, ever since he got paid 2 weeks ago, he ain't done nothing.
Well, he'll do something this game. Russell Wilson's going to keep the drives alive. He'll do something.
Okay. Yeah, but he keeps the drives alive by keeping it down the field. You think Carson? You know what? I think Carson's going to fumble the ball. I'm not sure which one of those guys is going to get it, but
I hope not.
A little bit.
If it does, I hope it's on the last play of the game because I need all those points. All of those Chris Carson points. No penny. None of this BS. Just give him the ball 30 times. Throw it to him 6 or 7.
I think it gets out of hand early, and then here comes Seattle. Carson's going to run all over him.
Yep.
I'm going to say 14 points. 10 points.
At least.
I think they're only favored by 5 or 6, though, so we'll see.
What's the next matchup we got here? Trey Boston, you can play him, but don't get too excited. That's my last thing on that game.
Sorry, people still messing me. Texans, Titans?
All right. We got some good folks in here.
This is a good one. We get some guys some love. What's up, Russ?
IDPArmy. That's you. That's me. That's all of us that care about IDP fantasy football.
We will get to this in a little bit, Shane, since Trey Flowers can totally be a start this week, but we'll get to it.
Which side do you want to go on first?
Man. Honestly, I like the Titans defense better than I like the Texans defense.
All right. Let's talk Titans then. Jayon Brown must play.
Okay, so tell me this, and I need your opinion because he's available. Jayon Brown or Eric Reed?
Jayon Brown.
Really?
Yep. I will take Jayon Brown, and that's hard for me to say, but yeah, because I mean they're playing Houston. Houston just lost to Denver. Like they want that action, so I expect them to just drive. And even though the Titans have shown some fight, so this could turn into something. This could turn into a little bit of
a huge game.
Exactly. This could be a big thing. So Jayon Brown's shown himself to be big play capable. He had a touchdown a couple weeks ago. He's had a couple interceptions. He's good in coverage, so he never comes off the field. And he's shown himself to be a high tackle producer both
when he's healthy
in single games and overall the season when he's played. So 100% Jayon Brown. And that's with me loving Eric Reed.
Yeah.
Okay. That's my opinion. So Jayon Brown, he's a great player. Rashaan Evans has been kind of dipping in snaps the past couple of weeks. I'm a little more hesitant to play him as anything besides maybe a linebacker 3 or 4 right now. But I'm confident with Jayon Brown as my linebacker, a low-end linebacker 1 with some upside too. So.
Okay. Logan Ryan's got to be a start, right?
Oh, yeah. You got to play Logan Ryan.
Logan Ryan, DeAndre Hopkins.
That's going to be – and that's the thing. Talk about tackles. If you're in some sort of league that has a premium on cornerback tackles on MFL and you have Logan Ryan, I mean, I can't imagine that you're not, like, just shoe-in for the championship right now.
I mean, we can say it right now, right? Logan Ryan is the cornerback MVP.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Not even close.
Is
the DB MVP?
Yep.
It's close. I think so. I think Logan Ryan's top DB, right?
I mean, it's him or Jamal Adams. And, well, you might make a case for – well, no. Tracy Walker got hurt. He was banged up a little too long. So, yeah, it's Jamal Adams or Logan Ryan, in my opinion. I'm with you. We are in agreement.
Okay. Well, since we're in this game and I'm about to bring his name up, Kevin Beard, Justin Simmons, Taylor Rapp, Tracy Walker, you got to pick 2.
Rapp and Walker, easy.
Easy. You say easy. Well, here's the thing. Justin Simmons playing your boy in Kansas City. At Kansas City.
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. Tampa Bay is playing Detroit. They are passing a ton. They're running a lot of plays. They're turning the ball over a fuck ton. So
we both agree.
Tracy Walker is 100,000,000,000% super locked into my lineup.
My question here is it Rapp or Simmons?
It's Rapp because they're playing Dallas, a team that is also one of the highest scoring, which means they're getting down the field teams in the league. Yeah, they've fucking sucked the past couple of weeks, but they're still passing the ball a ton, and they're passing it downfield.
Leads the league,
and Taylor Rapp is one of the highest graded PFF safeties on the season. He's got a ton of tackles under his belt. And no one's breathing down his neck. Like, he's like the last man standing at safety. I mean, Weddle's hanging out. I mean, he's doing his thing. But John Johnson went down, and Taylor Rapp has just soaked up all that goodness. And he's a rookie, but he's doing great. And Simmons has been good, too, and he's pretty high-graded PFF guy, and he's had some good games. But they're playing Kansas City, and Kansas City is I feel like they're a little more efficient with what they do than Dallas. Like, they can take the whole field like that. Dallas hasn't done that since like week 1 or 2. Like, they're meticulously working down the field, it feels like. So that's my answer to that.
They have literally NFC championship talent. They have a dumpster fire coach. Mm-hmm. So I'm with you. Walker and Rapp, get after it. You know me, I'm a big rap guy. Always been a big rap guy. So
yeah, you've been on. He was one of your guys early in the off season this last year that you were.
I said if he got a chance, he would ball out.
And it did take John Johnson going out, but I mean he's stepped up and he's done really well.
About the future though. John Johnson back to back.
I don't expect Eric Weddle to be hanging around next season.
No, I'm not paying Eric Weddle.
Exactly, and the Rams are already strapped for cash and draft picks. So if they could get like a 7th round pick, a 6th or 7th,
I think they get a 5th for Weddle.
They might. And if they could, they should take it.
Dallas is stupid. So I mean.
So yeah, Dallas will take it. You're funny.
I mean, there's facts here.
All right, so we're still on the Texans though. So we got to talk about Zach Cunningham. You have to play.
Oh yeah, must start. Guaranteed must start.
He had his best game of the season last week. His whole career, actually. I think he had 17 tackles. That's dope. So you got to play him. Bernardrick McKinney, he's kind of cooled off, but I mean he's still in play as a linebacker. 2-3.
I like the matchup. I mean, dude, they're going to give Henry the ball 25 times.
You're 100% right. Henry's good at knocking dudes over, though, so I think there's going to be some missed tackles in this game.
Dude, let's talk about the Texans just as a team in general. We're talking about a team that came in, beat the bricks off the Patriots, and then lay an egg 2 weeks in a row. Not an actual 0, but, dude, they did not look good for 2 weeks in a row now. You agree?
I agree. But I think they just went into that game last week with this is going to be an easy mindset.
It's at Tennessee too. It's going to be a cold one.
Will Fuller hurt him too.
But
that could be good for their IDP though. You know what I mean? Like you said, it could just be a lot of running and a lot of drives. Kind of just Derrick Henry kind of just moving the ball slowly, and Zach Cunningham and Justin Reed maybe gets some tackles this week. Maybe he does something.
He's been, bro.
I love your reaction. I bring up his name. It's like
huge letdown. I mean, I love this guy.
I know, dude. That was one of my better dynasty trades of the offseason, and I lamented it as soon as I did it. I traded Justin Reed. I was like, no. I was like, there goes the top 5 safety. Woo! Nope, not even close.
Yeah.
He was on the up and up, but
get the brakes.
Those days are long gone, girlfriend.
Everybody knows that I'm a huge Justin Reed fan, especially when everybody left. I was like, oh, man, give me that money. Gets injured, lets me down. Like,
what are you going to do?
Oh, well. The next game, the cupcake game. Dolphins, Giants.
Yeah, cupcake.
Antoine Bethea, pretty solid play.
Oh, 100%. He had 13 or 14 tackles this last week.
He tried to win it for me, bro. He did.
Yeah. He's a beast.
Well, my man had Zach Ertz, so.
Yikes.
I mean, Marcus Golden had a sack, a sack for like 10 yards at the very start of the game. I'm like, 15 points for me right away. And I was like, we got this in the bag.
They didn't do much.
Didn't do anything.
Yeah. He got close a couple of times, I feel like I remember, but.
He had a solo tackle or two. I mean, but he was on pace for like a 30, 40-point game for me and just went quiet. Bethea, like you said, really good game. And I knew Ertz was just going to stomp it at the end. I was going to be in trouble. And sure enough, I was down with 5 at the end, 5 or 6 at the end. And then, boom, let me give you Zach Ertz touchdown to beat me.
And Zach Ertz touchdown.
Question, but I think I'm going to get to this in a second. What you think about it? We'll get to Pittsburgh and we'll answer that question. Dolphins, Baker's been playing great. Low-key, a player that has been playing really good, and I think he's had his 3rd interception of the season, and only had one in the preseason as well, and that's my man Stephen Parker from Oklahoma. Big OU guy. He went there once they did, traded Minka and everything. He's had 2 big interceptions in the end zone. He should have taken it back for a touchdown last week. The worst part about that, he takes it back to scoring position, and they missed the field goal. I'd be pissed if I was Stephen Parker, bro.
Playing your heart out and your team is letting you down. It happens, though.
Wasn't no Fitz magic last week, that's for sure.
Well, he lost Parker, the other Parker, Devontae.
Yeah.
I'm with you though, Rick. I think not Raekwon. Ooh.
Does Eli have another good game?
He could. I mean, it is the Miami Dolphins.
It ain't raining. I mean, it could be raining. I haven't checked the weather, but
there's not really many guys on
New York. Ooh.
It's in New York.
Yep.
I saw Ogletree's been kind of this season, so I'm not really. There's not, like you said, there's not a lot of guys I'm overly interested. I'm very interested in Bethea. Marcus Golden is playable. And then Jerome Baker is playable.
The thing is, Marcus Golden was in and out a lot. When he played really well. So it was kind of upsetting. Ogletree played well last week.
I just really like it against this offensive line that they've got going on, which is not that great. You know what I mean? I mean, he should, again, probably be able to pull off a sack early, and you might be looking at a 15-point game. So
I like Marcus Golden in this play overall. My man, O'Shane Zimenez got me a sack last week.
I saw that. He's rookie. He's been doing pretty well this season. He's a guy that
he's a baller. You know, he was at Old Dominion. I like small school kids. That kid had like 22 tackles for loss his senior season at Old Dominion.
Damn.
If you put his stats up against anybody else in big schools, he played really, really well, dude. Played really good against Virginia Tech, who was a really good team. Wasn't a great team, but they were a good team. They're a good offensive line. So it was cool to see O'Shane Zimenez. Give me a sec. I gave him a little props during the IDP 411 rookie for Nick Bosa.
Nice.
So it's a little sneak in for him. Besides that, nothing crazy. Besides those, you know.
Yeah.
So Baker, Golden, Ogletree, Bethea, maybe Stephen Parker. Like I said, he's kind of off and on.
Mm-hmm.
Tyrell Charles has been hurt a lot, so he hasn't been really doing great.
That's the end of the list for guys that I'm even considering in this game.
Most of them on New York side, you know, one or two players on Miami side.
Yep, and I'm not even starting any of them but Bethea. So
I actually love this game, and this is a big game coming for the division. Washington, Philadelphia at Washington. Geis is hurt or got hurt last week. I don't expect him to play this week. So I think it's all on Peterson. Philadelphia, like you said, they've been up and down. There's no way they should have came back last week and just unanswered. Here we come. Zach Ertz is
last drive those last two drives were like, where has this been?
Yeah, who are you?
I mean, who are you? What happened to the guys that were out here at the last drive? Like, where did they go?
So I like Matt Ioannidis. He's been really solid last couple of weeks.
Oh yeah, 100%. There's on the Washington side, there's a bunch of guys I want to start. On Philadelphia, not so much.
But the thing is they've played overall. I mean, Nate Gary's been solid.
Yeah, he's been solid.
Nate Gary.
There are guys I'm very excited to start on Washington. Ioannidis, Sweat, Jonathan Allen, Landon Collins. I'm very excited to start all four of those guys. I'm also happy to start Cole Holcomb, like you said. And that's kind of where my list ends.
Is that because they stay on the field so long? Or?
Yeah, there's that, and because these guys are just good. And then you flip it over to Philadelphia. There's not a lot of guys I'm really excited for. I'm okay. I like. Say who?
Leonard Williams.
Yeah, he's been playing all right.
Not great, but he's played all right.
Isn't he? I thought he was on New York.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking. He's in New York. Yeah, from last game. Leonard Williams from the. Again, that's another New York.
But I like streaming the corners from Philly because they're bad. And so there's like a lot of tackle-ish opportunities, but a lot of them have been banged up all year. So it's been kind of weird with that whole thing. Like Maddox was really good early in the season, then he missed a bunch of time. Malcolm Jenkins has not been having a great season. I'm not trying to play him. Although there is a little bit of upside for turnovers because they are playing a rookie quarterback. If you're in a super pinch, you could, but there's nobody on the Eagles I want to start.
Like I said, he's only throwing the ball for 100 and something, 150, 180 yards. He's not even stretching, which is weird because in college, they threw like 4,500 yards, in 12 games. So,
yeah, I'm okay with, like you said, Gary, and then Brandon Graham. I would be okay starting Brandon Graham, and that's pretty much the end of my list. I mean, you could play Fletcher Cox if you want, but I don't recommend it.
Nope. Not touching him.
And I know Barnett is hurt, or he was hurt at least last week. So
yeah, I mean, he was hurt last week, didn't play last week, so I don't know if he will be back this week. If I'm a betting man, I would say no.
Yeah,
he's a stud though when he plays.
That's where I'm at with that whole scenario right there. And like I said, Landon Collins, I like a lot of the guys on Washington. I'm not big on very many guys on Philly.
All right, I'm going to say shootout in the next game.
Oh, yeah?
Chiefs Broncos at Kansas City.
It could turn into that.
Matty Mock. If he played like he did last week.
You mean Drew Lock?
I call him Matty Mock, but
that's funny. Wasn't there a guy that was a quarterback for? Yeah, he did play for Mizzou, didn't he? He got busted snorting cocaine. I don't know a whole lot about college football, but I remember that.
Yeah, Drew Lock is for real though, dude.
Yeah,
I truly believe that. I think it's for real.
I do too, and it just makes everyone in the Broncos just look dumb for making him sit around and I feel like he was barely going to make the team at some points this year. Like they were just talking him down and he needs to really learn a lot and develop a lot. He's really raw and terrible. Like I feel like that's all I heard about this guy. And he goes out in his first game, his first drive. I mean, he looks like a seasoned veteran. So good for him. And good for Broncos fans, I guess. I mean, I'm not a big Broncos fan. I'm a Chiefs fan, but good for you guys. You'll have a good quarterback on your team when the Chiefs beat you every year for the rest of your life.
It's going to be a fun game. Okay, it's at Denver. I don't know what it is, but your boy loves playing in Denver. So
he loves playing everywhere.
Yeah, well,
Patrick Mahomes will play anywhere. He'll play at the mouth of a volcano in a thunderstorm during a tsunami.
Will he have the largest contract
ever in football? Yeah. I mean, he'll set the bar.
This year?
I mean,
I think so.
Somebody, and then somebody else come along.
I think he's just waiting for Dak to get paid or not get paid.
Dak's going to get paid. Then Mahomes is going to get paid. And then Deshaun Watson is going to get paid.
Would you pay Deshaun Watson more than you're paying Mahomes?
They'll have to.
Why? One's been to an AFC Championship game, the other one hasn't.
Well, we'll see what happens this year.
One's been injured like a bad.
Let's not debate quarterbacks on our IDP show.
Who is a better receiving core, real quick?
Oh, definitely Patrick Mahomes. He's got Travis Kelce. He got Sammy Watkins. He got Tyreek Hill. What do you mean? Kelsey's not a receiver. Of course
he's a tight end. I said receiving core.
Well, he's like a top 15 wide receiver numbers-wise.
Fuller, Stills.
You want to talk about injuries? Fuller, Stills.
Stills has been injured 3 games his entire career.
They were this year though. Recency bias.
He's still back. Fuller's back. When they're healthy, who got a stronger receiving core?
Patrick Mahomes.
No. Sorry, bro. I love Tyreek Hill, and Mecole Hardman's a new fresh dude. But you can't tell me that you ever trusted Sammy Watkins.
Oh, no, I don't trust him. I trust Patrick Mahomes, though. I trust Sammy Watkins as much as I trust.
Okay, let's switch to quarterbacks. Who has a better team? If you gave the same receiving core
to Deshaun Watson,
yeah,
I think he'd be just as good.
No.
Whatever, man. Whatever.
Let's ask the masses.
All right, let's talk some IDP. Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger.
Why are you on this dude?
I know.
He's so average, if not
I know,
below
he's
average.
so average. I know. I'm just trolling you right now because I know you and Steve give me hell.
It's because tell me this: would you be on him if he was
average?
Texans?
He's an average IDP corner.
It's a revenge game. I'll give you that. But
defensive back. Yeah, true.
No. Yeah, I don't like this dude. Simmons outplays Matthew by a mile this week.
Oh yeah, I agree with you there. Like I said, I was just trolling with Matthew. I mean, you can play him, but I don't. I mean, he'll be a top 30 defensive back. That's kind of where I'm at, and he'll probably be close to 30. Linebackers, there's not really any linebackers that I'm excited to start for the Chiefs. I am excited to start Frank Clark. He's been coming on strong, and Chris Jones has been coming on strong. And
it's a good matchup, Chris Jones, I think.
Yeah. You could play some corners from the Chiefs, too. They're not Ward, Breland, Fuller. But Denver has, a couple of guys, Todd Davis, Alexander Johnson, A.J. Johnson, that linebacker.
I like A.J. Johnson. He's a really solid kid.
He's been playing really well. And
the matchup because Pat Mahomes likes to stretch it more.
Yeah. But Johnson's good in coverage, so he'll probably stay on the field a lot. So that could be good.
He's going to stay on the field, but I'm not saying he's going to be a baller, though.
No, he'll give up a lot of first downs, but
he'll probably guard Kelsey quite a bit. So I'll give you that.
So
really do.
I think he's and the running backs for the Chiefs are not great at evading tackles. I mean, so I think that those guys are kind of where you're going to want to go on the Chiefs, or not the Chiefs.
Agreed.
The Broncos.
I know what you meant. How do you feel about the? I know we brought the kid up a couple weeks ago from Denver. Had a pretty big week a couple weeks ago.
Was it a linebacker or was it a defensive lineman?
Defensive lineman. He started playing for Chubb when he got.
I remember who you're talking about. I don't remember exactly what his name was. He had a strange last name.
Just a second. I'll pull it up.
I mean, yeah, he'll be serviceable. He's had a couple of decent games. Again, I can't remember his name for whatever reason, but he's had a couple of decent games filling in for Chubb. Von Miller has shown up in the box score finally a couple of times as of late. So, but Mahomes he's pretty good at evading sacks.
Like Kareem Jackson this week.
Yeah, after the huge game last week. I have a problem. Yeah, I'm in on Kareem Jackson this week. He had a big game last week. I think he's feeling himself. I think he's going to want to come out and do some more work. So
I'm going to get to this because tonight's game. I'm going to hop on this real quick since we did have a question. Burgess or Devin White?
Devin White.
Devin White's a stud. What's his matchup like?
He plays Detroit. Which
everybody who plays Detroit has been balling lately.
He's at his turnovers, I mean, there's this big play upside. He's already shown himself capable of sacks, interceptions. I mean, I want him playing against David Blau, so I'm sticking there. I'm sticking with that one.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Don't get me wrong, James Burt's been balling.
Yep.
I don't love his matchup, but they do. The Ravens can run the ball, man. They do run the ball. They run the ball a lot. So in that aspect, Burgess can get a lot of tackles. I don't see him getting a sack like he has been the last 2 weeks. I mean, that line is pretty stout.
Yeah, getting to Lamar Jackson takes a little bit of work.
Give me some Devin White. I love James Burgess, and you got to play him as well as he's played the last 2 weeks, so I get it 100%. Tough matchup. I'll be honest, I'm probably playing Burgess every week in otherwise. The other question is who's the other plays? Because I like Burgess in general. I'd play both, honestly.
Fair. All right, we want to do the next matchup, lightning round style?
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, I mean, we're 44 minutes in, so.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, well, since we're going to Buccaneers lines and we just talked about it, Devin White, like you said, is a play. Everybody's playing Detroit. Linebackers been playing, or David's been playing really good too. Give me your boy Sue's been playing well. JPP's disappeared.
JPP has been frustrating. You can't really play him right now. If you do, you're living dangerously. I've lived dangerously for a few weeks back, and it was not fun.
Slay but in the other aspect, is Darius Slay a must play?
Definitely. Darius Slay is a must play. Kevin Wilson is a must play. We already talked about Tracy Walker earlier, must play. Mm-hmm.
Davis, so we're great. Jared Davis, Tracy Walker, Taven Wilson, Darius Slay, and Trey Flowers.
Trey Flowers, yep. I want to play those guys. And Devin Kennard, too, is in play as well.
Yeah.
So, and then on the other side of the ball, Levante David, you're playing him. You're playing Devin White. We just talked about that. You're playing Shaq Barrett. JPP, I'm cooled off on. What about their safeties? Whitehead, right? That's their main guy. I mean, no, not playing him.
I don't trust Blau enough to go against him.
Fair enough. All right. That was pretty simple. A lot of studs for IDP on both those teams. So that was kind of an easy one.
Yeah, quite some plays there.
Home run.
Let's go next group. Browns Cardinals. This could be fun.
There's a bunch. There's some good high-level guys here, too. I mean, linebackers, Jordan Hicks and Joe Schobert are both top 5 linebackers. And
the thing is, we were talking about who could take over as our MVP for the year. It could be in this game.
Mm-hmm. And there's a great matchup for both of them. So
both lines are trash. So both defensive lines are good. Yep. Sheldon Richardson's a must-play, by the way, who I didn't start last week. Started Chad Thomas. It legitimately cost me the win. 33 points compared to 1. Okay? I'm not playing Chad Thomas. I'm sorry. Killing me.
Yeah, I'm not playing him again.
Brian Cox before I play him.
Ogunjobi, you're playing. You're playing Sheldon Richardson. On the other side of the ball on defensive line, you're playing Chandler Jones. He's been playing really well this season. Going back deeper off the field. Buda Baker is leading the league in solo tackles, so that's great. And you should be playing him every week. We told you that.
He's also available in that league that we're talking about.
We told you all about that all the way back in June.
Yep.
Buda Baker is elite. Kind of the same way. Well, anyway, I'll leave that alone. There's not the other safety there, though. They're playing Johnson. The Deontay Johnson, is that his name?
Yep.
Been playing a little bit, and there was another guy, but you pretty much just want to stick with who you know here. Jordan Hicks, Buda Baker, Chandler. Those are the guys I want to play for Arizona. And then you're going to obviously you want to play Joe Schobert. Mac Wilson is playable. He's been playing a lot of snaps this year. He's been pretty productive. He's a solid linebacker 3. Solid. I mean, he could.
Who do you think Denzel Ward's covering? Kirk or Larry Fitzgerald?
Probably Kirk. And I'm actually sitting Kirk in a couple of spots for some guys that will probably get less targets than him.
This could be fun. This could be one of those games. I mean, I'm starting Baker Mayfield all day long, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Arizona's coverage defense is not great.
No. But Buda gets a ton of solo tackles, and that's why.
Mm-hmm.
Because the rest of the team's trash. That's going to be a fun one. All right, let's get to the next one. We got like 10 minutes left. Russell, I'm just going to get to this. Actually, I'll take this. I told Tilt I'd get to him. Hopefully you're still on here. Let me get to you. Don Payne, job in jeopardy.
Donald Payne, yeah, apparently they're thinking about switching up the way they're playing guys this next week, so you can't really play him.
Yeah, especially even after a good week. That's what sucks.
Yeah, you can't just play him assuming all things are the same because apparently everything's different. So I'm not playing him anywhere personally.
Bro, let me tell you real quick. Demario Davis is a must start all the time, every week. Doesn't matter. Because he's the starting middle linebacker no matter what. Right? Yep. He's been in our section on Monday, I think 8 weeks running. Maybe 12.
100% agree with you. You have to play Demario Davis. I get that Burgess is hot right now, but Demario Davis has a track record of being good at a lot of things for a long period of time. And he's had a great season. I wouldn't get caught up in the hype with Burgess. I'm getting a lot of Burgess questions, I feel like.
Russ, I'm not even putting that on the page, bro. I'm talk smack about my boys. You know what sucks? I'm flying home to Oklahoma, see the family, and I had to give my tickets away to the game this week because I was going to Cleveland, Arizona game. I wasn't gonna be on Sunday's show because I was going to the game.
Yeah.
Now I'm flying home. It's my son's birthday, so I'll be home for that. So no Russ, I'm not even posting it. Dick. Okay, so yeah, that'll be a fun one. Jags, Raiders.
Raiders, I mean, it's pretty much Max Crosby that you can play with confidence, and Tahir Whitehead, and that's it. I mean, Eric Harris is very boom or bust.
Agreed.
Although this is a good game, he could boom against, old boy in Jacksonville, Minshew. But
Gardner, the mustache, he likes to toss it.
Yeah. But those are the only guys I'm playing with confidence on any degree is Crosby and Whitehead.
Agreed. Jaguars. Like you said, we don't know what they're doing. They're talking about changing everything around. I'm still playing. Ngakwe, got to start him, right?
Ngakwe, you have to play. You can play Josh Allen, be a little wary. Calais Campbell, I know he had a half-decent game last week, but I'm still gun-shy on Calais Campbell personally.
Because he's back. He get injured tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. And then the safety situation, not sure if we're getting Ronnie Harrison back this week yet or not. Jared Wilson has been serviceable, so it's kind of, in this linebacker situation, I don't really know what to tell you. I mean, like you said, Payne, you could play Payne if you want to risk it, but there is
I do. I really like the kid, but they're putting it all over the place. They don't know what they're going to do with him yet.
Exactly. So, there's just a lot of risk with him, and this late in the season, I want to have as little risk as possible.
I think we got 5 more games. Vikings, Chargers.
All right, let's lightning around this one. Vikings. I'll do Vikings. You do Chargers. All right, Vikings. You are playing 100% Daniil Hunter, Everson Griffin, Eric Kendricks, and Harrison Smith.
Other side.
You can play Anthony Harris. Can. Not saying you should, but you can play him, and that's basically everybody that I want to have a piece of in that game on that side.
For me, it's easy. Bosa.
Yep.
Ever since Derwin James back, yeah, play him.
Mm-hmm.
Played 100% of snaps first week back. So I'm going with that. I mean, they destroyed the Jags last week.
Yeah. Any interest in Melvin Ingram?
100%. Yeah. He played pretty well over the last couple of weeks. Tranquil has led the team in tackles last week, 7 solos. So Drew Tranquil, really like him. Derwin James was second in tackles, had 6 total tackles, 4 solo. And then Joey Bosa had 4 solo tackles and 2 sacks.
Nice.
Those are my must starts. Todd Davis was 3-3 last week in a blowout. So Tranquil, Derwin James, and Joey Bosa. Those are 3 I'm playing with.
Oh, there we go. Who's next?
Next game we got is I'm backing out for some reason.
San Francisco, Atlanta?
Yeah, let's go with them.
All right, let's do another lightning round. I'll take Atlanta, you do San Francisco.
Okay.
Yeah, this will be a good one. It should be a lot of tackle opportunities, and there should be some sacks. I mean, this should be a fun affair. So
it won't be as fun as last week, though.
No, not even close. Deion Jones, Devondre Campbell, you play them. You can play them. You should play them. Safety-wise, KZ had a good game last week, so I'm comfortable playing KZ, defensive back safety. But as far as their pass rushers, I know Vic Beasley and I know Tack McKinley both showed up in the box score last week. I'm not playing them.
I like them, man.
It's week 15. What is it? Week 15. I am not putting Tack McKinley or Vic Beasley in my lineup. I know you played Vic Beasley last week, so you probably feel special.
Right, I did.
That's what it is. It's a recency bias. Wait till he doesn't have another sack for the next 9 games of his career.
I don't love to play. I'm with you.
So, all right, tell me about San Francisco. Talk to me about DeForest Buckner.
we'll go. I mean, Armstead's played pretty well. I think I'm going to keep going with him. Greenlaw, I like. Overall, I kind of like Sherman again because I think they're going to pass the ball quite a bit.
He got hurt though. He might not play this next week.
You're right. He had 7 solos last week though. Loving that.
Yeah, he had a good game.
I think Wagner back and plays better. He didn't do nothing last week, man.
Who?
Warner. Fred Warner.
Yeah, he had his first down week in a while last week, but
Greenlaw balled out.
Must go
down. And as much as you like him, Atlanta doesn't throw the ball like the Saints. But Atlanta did shut the Saints down, and San Francisco didn't. So
yeah, and they lost Ridley, so there's one of their big weapons. So they are a little hurt. So they might
Julio's hurt too. So I don't know if he's going to play.
They might not pass as much, like you said.
Well, they're going to have to. I truly believe that. So Warner, I think Bosa comes back, has a good game. I believe in that.
He's due.
He is. And Greenlaw. That's what I'm going with. Maybe you know what? I'm gonna give your boy Buckner some love too.
I was gonna say you better give Buck some love. Boy, balling.
Been on him all year.
You got like 60 tackles and like 7 or 8 sacks.
You never wavered.
And he's got a touchdown. He's got a couple forced fumbles. Yeah, fumble recovery last week. I could go on and on and on. I could go on and on and on about my boy.
All right, next game. We got 2 more. Bills, Steelers.
Another great IDP game. I'll cover the Steelers because that's my team. You're playing TJ Watt. He's incredible. You can play Bud Dupree. You are playing Cam Hayward, especially if he has a D tackle designation, you have to play D tackle. You are playing Terrell Edmonds, most likely. He's a defensive back 2-3, but high end.
He had 8 tackles last week, though.
Yeah, he's due for a good game too. And Minkah Fitzpatrick is still in play, guys. I know he's been cooled off a lot. His tackle floor is lower than a lot of guys, but the big plays, you can't bank on him, you can't call him, but he is a big play guy. So they will come eventually, and when they happen, I don't want him on my bench. That's just how I feel about it. I do not want to have a defensive back that puts up 35 points on my bench. Yeah, I know he might have a floor of 3 or 4, but again, I'm playing him. So that's where I'm at. Devin Bush is too dangerous right now. He's not getting 100% snaps anymore. He's dropping back in coverage. It's just it's risky. I know, but I'm not doing it. It's week 15. It's week 15. You got to learn your lessons. You have to be adaptable. And
I'm going to flip with you.
Devin Bush,
he had to play coverage because of the team they were playing. Not going to happen this week, dude.
Week 5 Devin Bush and week 15 Devin Bush are 2 different Devin Bushes. That's all I'm going to say about it. So, what do you got for me on the Bills?
Dude, I'm putting Edmonds back on the floor, dude. Led the team in tackles, had an interception last week. Edmonds is a stud. He's got a good matchup this week. I love the matchup this week.
Mm-hmm. There's turnover upside for both these defensive.
Yep. Jordan Poyer, I think you have to start him every week. He's been really solid. He had 10 tackles last week, 5 and 5. Micah Hyde had a good week. Your boy Milano disappeared, and Lorenzo Alexander, son of Lorenzo Alexander had a pretty solid day. 7 total tackles, 5 solo. But Milano,
he got juked pretty hard by Lamar Jackson.
And then Russ right after I said something.
So he was probably looking at his wounds.
He get in the background and had him dead to rights and
I'm still playing Milano.
Got put on skates.
I know, but that's Lamar Jackson. What an MVP will do to you.
He probably is locked up.
100%.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go Edmonds, Poyer.
What about Ed Oliver? Sleeper?
Oh yeah, Ed Oliver. He had 5 tackles last week.
There you go.
Had a pass deflection, so I'm gonna give him that. He should have had 2 sacks last week. 2 sacks against Lamar Jackson.
Devlin Hodges. He's gonna.
He gets Hodges this week.
Yep.
I believe that. So, yeah, I'm going to give it Oliver some love, dude. Yeah, I agree. All right, next game is – I won't do Monday night's game yet.
Yep. It's Saints-Colts.
Saints-Colts.
I'll do the Saints because this will be kind of easy. Marcus Davenport just went on IR. That sucks for the team. He was just coming on hot. He went on IR last year too, guys. So if you're a dynasty owner of Marcus Davenport, if you're a Saints fan, if you're a believer, this is not what you want to hear. This is not what you want to see. We'll see what happens next year, I guess, with him. Cameron Jordan is probably going to put a little bit more pressure on him. He's not going to have somebody taking that off of him now. That's on the other side that is, showing themselves to be a high level talent. So he might cool off a little bit too, guys. I'd be wary of that this week. I still play him. The upside's there, but I'm a little wary. Demario Davis is a must play. We've talked about this. Von Bell is a must play. And aside from that, there's no.
Did he?
Yeah, Von Bell had a really big week last week. I don't remember if he had a fumble or fumble recovery. He had another big play and a bunch of tackles. So, but that's been what he's doing all season. So Von Bell, Demario Davis, Cam Jordan, all three studs, all three should be in your lineups on that side of the ball. And that's where the list ends for me. There are other guys there that do are capable of producing a few points for you, but nobody I'm plugging in my lineup week 15.
Okay. For me, Darius Leonard, obviously must play. 2 interceptions last week. Not being tackles against, obviously that's not a running team at all by any means. But he still had 2 interceptions last week. Malik Hooker, I like Malik Hooker this week. Again, he had an interception last week. Pretty good week. Carter Willis blew up, but that's because of who he was playing. Do you think Walker comes back? And I think Houston's a must play. Houston's been his floor has been really good. So Justin Houston has to be a must play, I think. He's good for 5 tackles and a sack a game. I mean,
I agree with you 100%.
So Justin Houston, Darius Leonard, Walker probably. Opriki finally got some playing time last week, but Gadders kind of went real quiet last week. I don't know what's going on with him.
Yeah, he's been not playing a ton of snaps like you would have thought. I was doing a little research on him for an article I wrote a few weeks back, and he's been hovering in that between that 50-70% snap range, which is not what you want from your starting strong safety.
Because of who they're playing, it's almost the same aspect. I expect a lot of corner good play. I like Carter Willis. I like Malik Hooker. I even like Yasin, Rock Yasin. Darius Leonard obviously is a must play, and Walker. I still like the same guys who balled out last week to do the same thing this week because Breeze knows he's in a spot where they can win the division, and they very easily could have beat a top 2 team or top 3 team in the league last week in San Francisco. That game was close. The whole game was fun.
Yeah.
So let me get to a few questions before we head out. Whitehead or Payne? Got to go with Whitehead because he's going to play, right?
Agreed.
Are we talking about Deron Payne?
I'm assuming everybody that's asking about Payne this week is asking about Donald Payne.
Yeah, me too.
That's just where I'm at.
I think Russ asked a weird question earlier. I'm going to get to it. Like DB in a 3-4 or 4-3 defense. A lot of times it kind of just depends on the matchup for me. I know you're not a big matchup guy, but
I have no preference personally. Yep. I like playing DBs. I like playing safeties. I don't really care what the scheme is. If they're a good safety, I like to play them.
We didn't get to this, but this is a question that McKinney or Dupree?
Yeah, I saw this one earlier. I think I'm going to go.
Good lines.
Say it again.
Bud Dupree has to play a pretty good line this week.
Yeah, I'm going McKinney. He's safer floor. He's had a good season. Bud Dupree is boomer bust, linebacker too.
Agreed. Okay. Well, I think that's all we got for the night.
Yeah, baby. Go out there and
big night tonight. So.
Yep. Appreciate you, IDPArmy. Anyone that stopped in to listen, stuck around. Appreciate all you guys. Big stuff coming this off season. I mean, we say that a lot, but the season's winding down. The content's going to probably slow down a little bit, and then it's going to pick back up. Quality, we're going to do some deep research. We'll keep you guys abreast of the situation. We're working on putting together the forum site for the IDP Army to help you find good IDP leagues to get in. Other people that listen to the show are, familiar with, what we put out content-wise on Twitter and Instagram. Follow us on Instagram at the IDP 411, which is our other show, but we do a joint account for both shows and for the IDP Army. And follow us at IDP Army on Instagram as well.
Look who we got here.
Kyle.
You guys got to give Kyle some love, man. He runs a good website too.
He's got good rankings, good info. Go check him out. Follow him on Twitter, guys. Kyle's one of the friends of the show.
You guys should be following Russ as well.
Yes, sir. OG.
I'm going to give some love out to some guys. Tilt, thanks for chiming in.
Yep.
I guess. We got here. KG, you're a new guy to the show, so welcome. Maybe check us out on YouTube, IDP411. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and if you ever retweet any of our stuff, we expect everybody to post hashtag IDPArmy. That's the love. I'm going to give love out to Full-Time Fantasy Podcast Network, as always.
Yep.
Thanks.
Yep. We'll see you guys on Sunday morning. Good luck tonight.
All right. Peace out, Girl Scout. And as always, let's go.